What's up, Vape Fam? Today we're going to be taking a look at this beautiful tank from Samurai Modz, the Kamikaze tank. But is it just a pretty face, or can it actually perform? We'll talk about that, but first we're going to go up close for the breakdown to see what makes it vape. Alright guys, first I apologize for any background noises. My pets are being kind of noisy today. But here we are up close with the Kamikaze tank. This is the packaging it comes in. It's pretty straightforward. It's just a lift top box. Kamikaze tank, the Samurai Modz logo here on the top face, and then SamuraiModz.com and some little bit of information there on the bottom. Nothing too terribly important, just descriptions of the tank. At the top, and you will have the tank, and you will have your replacement piece of glass. We'll put that to the side. It's just that's it. Pull the tank out, put that aside. Go through the rest of this first. Your little cutout piece, a lift top here, and in the bottom will be coils, a bunch of different ones. We won't go through all those here. It's a bag of O-rings, and these are the little silicone gaskets that go on the deck. I'll show you that in a minute. Your rebuildable section and the base for the rebuildable section, you do have to switch out the base to use the rebuildable. Coils come in these little packages. I've tried all of them, so they're all open. They have a lot of juice on them. We'll pull one apart here in a little bit. Actually, we'll pull that one apart. We'll put this to the side, and we'll take a look at the tank. Starting at the top, you have the drip tip with the Courage, Honor, and Loyalty right there on the top. Now, the drip tip is a weird size, so you won't be able to use your own drip tip on it. Sorry about your luck, I guess. It is double gasketed, and there is a secondary airflow here in the tip. There are three little holes. There we go. Three little holes in the tip, and there is a there you go. There is a second tip inside there, so that the airflow comes around through this little channel here. It is a metal tip inside, and then the gap allows to dissipate heat a little bit better. After that, we have the top cap. It is top fill. This top cap is really thin material. I could probably bend it if I squeezed it hard enough. That's a little strange. There is a little gasket there for where it threads into the chimney. The camera is not cooperating very well today. It is top fill. It has this deep top fill chamber, I guess, where it's lowered down in there quite a bit. It kind of makes it difficult to get a tip down in there sometimes, so you almost end up pouring it down the side into one of those three openings there in the bottom. We will take the bottom off. It is not going to be a hybrid tank, guys. There's not enough protrusion there. The deck, or the bottom deck, has some really nice designs here on the bottom for the Samurai Modz logo. I wanted to get it lined up flat and straight with the same Courage, Honor, Loyalty that is on the drip tip. And then the coil here just screws in. Be the first look at these strange coils of theirs, where it is just cotton wrapped around cotton, basically. There is some obvious metal wire in there, and there are a couple, I don't really know what to call them, towers of metal that support the coil itself. We'll get into that when we take this apart here in a minute. There is a nut in the chimney that is probably not going to be visible on camera. It's down in there, there is two small little spots to put your screwdriver on and then tighten or loosen accordingly, and that allows you to remove the base. I've already loosened it up, so you can hear the nut rattling around in there. So it just pops out, and there's that red gasket. That is what the chimney rides on, so that you can close and open the juice flow control, which are these little holes here. After that, you're left with the chimney, the glass piece, and this top cap. As you can see, it does all spin. There is a weird little metal tab that makes it really difficult to get this glass piece off. I don't want to take it all the way apart right now, but you can do it. The RBA base will just go right up in here like so, and then you will have to take a screwdriver down into the chimney and tighten up the nut to hold the base in place. It's kind of obnoxious. I don't know why they did it that way. I don't know why they didn't just thread that chimney so that you could just screw it in, but it is the way that you have to do it. Then the RBA fits into here barely. I mean, it is a really tight fit. Okay, this is the 1 ohm Clapton coil that says on the bottom 30 to 160 watts. Different than what the book says. You have your little positive pin and you have your wire. Let's get a hold of this, yank it out of there, take a look at this Clapton wire. It is definitely Clapton wire. Let's see if it'll get a focus on it. Come on. It is really fine wire for the Clapton, so it might be a little hard to see. Pull this the rest of the way out. There is a wad of cotton. Obviously there is more cotton wrapped around that wad of cotton. Pull this away and take a look. It's the outside part. So now you can see the metal that holds everything into place, and more inside cotton. So that is the coil housing. Alright, let's put this all back together now. We'll put our base back in for coils, because the rebuildable drives me nuts. There's no gasket on the rebuildable deck, so the juice flow control just spins. You do have to retighten the nut down. That's fun. Then you put your coil in. This one is already juiced up. I've tried all 6 of them. Put your bottom piece back on. Screws right into place. Juice flow control. Then you just proceed to fill it here in the top. Like so. Squeeze it right down in there. Some glass droppers fit, some do not fit so well. Then we will put the top cap back on. Screw it down. And your drip tip back in. Open the juice flow control back up. And that's it. So let's go back up top. We'll vape on a little bit and we'll talk about it. Alright guys, I left this book out of the box so that I could show this to you separately. The Kamikaze tank instructions. There is some really bad translations in here, and this is what I wanted to show you the most. Let me start with this. There is instructions on how to take apart your tank, how everything works, how everything fits. But I wanted to show you the coils because we're going to be talking about this. There's a different wattage ranges for the coils and the different coils that the kit says it comes with. We'll be talking about this in a second, but some of the coils in the kit are not on here. Some of the coils that are on here, like the nickel coil, is not in the kit. So I just wanted to show you this separately, show you that it is there. This is what I'm referring to in a moment when we go back up and talk about it. Alright, that was the up close and breakdown with the Kamikaze tank from Samurai Modz. When I first saw this tank on Instagram, I had to have it. I hunted up the company, Samurai Modz. I put in my pre-order, and I've been disappointed with it. It's a good looking tank. Everything fits together well. It doesn't leak. It comes with a bunch of coils, and that's where the pros end. It has machining issues. There's raised metal and sharp edges. The silver one is much worse. I mean, you can see it with the naked eye. I wish I would have had the silver one to break down for you. You probably would have seen it on the camera. The rebuildable section has burrs around the edges, around the wicking holes. Tanks of any price shouldn't have raised metal. The rebuildable section and the juice flow control issue. The rebuildable section, the red gasket that causes the resistance for the juice flow control, doesn't fit on there. So the tank spins freely. After using it for a little bit, I just got annoyed with it. I couldn't keep doing it. It would just close on its own. I'd start getting dry hits. It drove me nuts. It's a problem. They need to do something about that. There needs to be some sort of O-ring or gasket that fits on there that causes some resistance so this doesn't just move on its own or move when you move the tank. The coils. Yeah, it comes with a lot of coils. They don't all match the description in the book, which was a little weird. The book says that you get 1.5 ohm coil. You get two. There's a Clapton one and a non-Clapton one. It says that there is a nickel coil. There wasn't. There was a 0.6 ohm coil that is not in the book, and the 1 ohm coil that is Claptoned in the book says 10 to 20 watts. On the coil itself says 30 to 160 watts, and it definitely takes more than 20 watts, but it doesn't take 160, I can tell you that. I started getting dry hits on that around 90 or so watts, maybe 100, somewhere in that range. The airflow is really tight on this thing, but tight in a really weird kind of way. Like, even with the airflow turned all the way down, there's still too much airflow to mouth to lung it, which is kind of annoying. You almost feel obligated to run the drip tip open, which kills the flavor even more than it already is. The best coil I found was the 0.6 ohm coil that's not even listed in the book, and even then the flavor is kind of subpar. There are a lot of tanks that you can buy for cheaper that just, it makes more vapor, they make more flavor. It's just been a less than stellar tank. The price on this tank was right around $60 with shipping for the pre-order. The pre-order is $10 off, at least according to their website. There is also a kit that does not come with the rebuildable that is $45.99 plus shipping. So $50 and $60 with the $10 off. So $60 and $70 without it. That's a lot. $60, you can buy a lot of good vaping gear, and this just doesn't live up to that price range. I don't know, maybe there's a tip or a trick or some sort of secret to getting this thing to vape well, but I just can't figure it out, and I've been vaping on it for a while now. It's been bothering me. It's been driving me nuts. I want this tank to be a good tank. It's just not there. And I know some of it's subjective. I know some people are still going to like the airflow. I just feel like the airflow could have been done better. You could have more variety and more options with it. But it's restrictive. It's a lung hit, and it's a restrictive lung hit no matter where you set it. The nut in the chimney is weird. I don't know why they didn't just thread the chimney so that you could change the bases for the rebuildable or the coils on a whim. You actually have to put that screwdriver down in there and loosen that nut up and tighten it down. It's kind of odd too. So yeah, the raised metal needs addressed. The airflow is that weird airflow that I talked about. The coils are different than the paperwork, and there's some weird translations in there and stuff too, but you get that from time to time. So that's not a huge con, it's just kind of strange. So I hope you found this video helpful. Like I said, if you know any tips or tricks to getting this thing to vape better, I want a good vape off this thing. Let me know. Like, subscribe, it helps me out. Leave a comment, tips, tricks, questions, anything you know about this tank, anything that can make this tank a little bit better. Hope to see you soon. Till then, keep on vaping.